is a really fun piece. It's nice to have two cellos on. I would suggest, I don't know if you've tried different seating arrangements. Have you? It might be nice to try having the two cellos here and the viola there. It might be nice to try putting the viola here, second violin there. It kind of depends on the people in your group and how the balance works. But I'm kind of used to the cello thing, like in the front. So do you mind just kind of, can we put you on the outside and shift you guys over just to try it? It's not a necessary thing, but it's kind of fun, and then I might come through a little bit. Good. So this between the scherzo and the trio, it could not be more different. Just like so in the trio, and so like the slurs go on like so many bars you have to do together, and it's like pianissimo, and then three keys, and then you're just like, and then, but the scherzo is da 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 da. It's kind of an interesting way of writing because he puts so many accents and so many sforzandos. There's like, I think 8 in a row in the beginning. Is that right? How many sforzandos? So I was going to suggest doing 3 plus 5. Sometimes, this is my favorite thing to say, a succession of sforzandos. When you have a succession of sforzandos, usually you might go crescendo through them. But in this case, it might be nice to try 3 loud and then drop the 4th one a little bit so nobody knows but you guys, and then crescendo through the last 5. What do you think? The other thing I wondered about was he has a million accents, right? In the beginning too? How do you deal with accents, sforzandos, fortes, fortissimos? Like, you can't play it all out all the time, right? You will tire yourselves out. So, did you guys talk about this? How you're going to do this? Did you notice how many there were? It's like ridiculous. There's accents almost everywhere, and then if there's not an accent, there's a sforzando, right? And if there's not any of those, there's a forte, a crescendo, a fortissimo. Is that right? Yeah? You guys are tired? Okay, so why would a composer do that many accents? Why? What's the point?
Maybe just kind of to sort of keep the energy up. And I think like in the beginning especially, I think it like helps bring out the like the kind of you have all these kind of really
da da ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Right? That's what we have. Mm-hmm. So I think you're right. The energy is really important. Do you think that they're all the same? The accents? Da 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 da. Is one of those more or less? You can't be wrong. It's music, so you could try it one way and try it the other way. So this actually is good that nobody's saying anything. Maybe you haven't thought about it before, and that's why I'm useful. It's nice to be useful. So what do you think? Do you think it's da 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 da, or do you think it's da 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 da?
in concept. I like the first one better, but when you're saying it out, I like it the second way.
Second
I
way.
was thinking the same thing.
Okay, awesome. Let's try it the second way. Can you do da 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 yeah da 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 da, and then can we do da da dee ba ba, and then dun 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 teen tom bum bum. 3 plus 5. Your math comes in so handy in music. Okay, here we go. Too obvious that it dropped, so I didn't mean that much. You can't let anybody know really, just a little. But it was awesome. How did it feel to play?
I feel like it's much more like interesting. I feel like at least when it gets like really loud, it just kind of becomes like I don't know, not like noise. We were sort of talking about
No,
this.
but
But like, no, but like it just kind of like
yes.
flat lines, I guess. And
Yeah.
I feel like when you add in like more difference between those like scorzonos and accents, I feel like it like puts back the like.
Yeah, that's great. I agree. Sometimes you have an accent and it's an expressive accent. Sometimes it needs more vibrato, more both. But in this case, it's kind of a party, right? So it gives energy, like you said, it gives verve and it gives shape. And then it also ties you all together. And also you don't get so tired because you're not doing the same thing, right? Okay. What happens after you have the 6th session of Sforzandi? You have a what?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So if I'm not looking at the score, if I had heard you, I wouldn't know. So could you make it super obvious? Yeah, so I've never heard this piece before. Can you get me all like, oh wow, this is it? Oh, what happened? Right? Can you do it? From the beginning, same thing. It was such a great shape. So that was really great. You had a place where it was da 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 da, and even in the piano you had da, da, you had accents the same. So you can do the same energy, the same accents, but in piano, which you just demonstrated. That was really good. When it goes da da da, you had a crescendo. Could you do more of that crescendo? And that crescendo is leading up to what? A change in key. So you get to ya pa pa da ti ya da da. So can you really mark that? And when you have a sustained note with a sort of C, it's a fortissimo with a Z, which is even louder than a forte with a Z, sforzando. Can you sustain at least one beat before you do the diminuendo that he asked? So it really lands, and then you have another one, da less, da da da. Okay. Then you get a what? A piano, the crescendo. And what do you land on in the sforzando? Yeah, it's a chord that's a portal into a new somewhere. You're going somewhere else. So that's another stunner. So he's marking sforzandos in places that you really need to show us, like, oh, this is a cool chord. Oh my gosh, this is another cool chord. Oh, this chord is taking us here, right? You really have to, I've been talking to people about that. You have to sculpt the sound. As a group, you have to know collectively, this is what we're doing. This is what we think the accents mean. This is where the sforzandos are going, right? This is a new key, so show me the new key. Do extra vibrato, or do warmer vibrato, or do something different so that I really get that's a new key. Okay, so could we start on the fortissimo sforzando, where the second cello has yakadakadakadam? You know what that is? I don't have our numbers. A flat high. Sorry. So, ba ba ba. Can those quarter notes don't do da bum bum as a part of the chord? You're right, but they have to get that da because you have to bring in your cellos. Okay. One more time. Okay. You did it so well this time. Why do you think you did it so well this time?
I think when there's distance, I'm more aware. That distance, like I'm more.
You were more locked in. Yeah, so the distance actually, it's lots of things in music, the backwards, the opposite backwards actually works to our advantage. So I don't know why, but this is one of those. You guys kind of locked in a different way. when you played in the middle of the group, you turned. You're such a good chamber music player that you were playing with. But then we didn't get you as much because we got your scroll, but not your sound, right? So sitting here, it's not so great because it's the back of you, but actually sometimes we can see you and hear you more. You can always turn out a little bit too if you want to. We might try another, or you guys could try another one, putting you there and you here. And if you're really strong like you are, and it works in the balance of the group, that might be another solution. Also, it's a nice rehearsal technique to hear different voices. So you could mix up, you could sit there, and you could sit there, or whatever, to mix up so you kind of hear the piece differently depending on who you're sitting next to. It's a really cool thing to do, actually. You're like, oh, I didn't know you had that. Oh, I have to fit in there, okay. Very good. So I was gonna say, sometimes it was successful in the rhythm, sometimes da 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 da. I didn't know that you guys were always working off each other rhythmically, but this was really good. So you can feel that ta ha always. Okay, very good. Can we look at the new key of at the double bar? This is kind of, I know, normal to you guys, but shocker to us that you are in this key now at the double bar. Can you do that? And where's the accent? Is it on the downbeat? Why not? It's dum dum. Yeah, da da da. And then somebody goes, dum dum. Right? Can you have that conversation back and forth a little bit? So we're not used to doing that. Can you do a goofy experiment, which you don't have to keep? Or can you do down, up? And then when you do it up, down, just pretend you're doing it down, up? Yeah. So we're doing the opposite upside down to get the thing we want. Okay, so just for now, can you do down, up? Okay? Good. So what about your accents? You have yada da 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 da. So you can choose. It's only you that has them. So do you want to go yada da 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 da, or do you want to go yada da 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 da? You could do it different each time, even. But you need to do something that they're not the same. Okay. So you could even change it up anytime you want. It's a secret superpower we get sometimes. So definitely use it. Okay, same thing. I love the down up actually. Why don't you keep it for now? You can always change it. Okay. Same one. Sorry.
Are we also doing that down?
No. You know how cellists do things their own way, bowing wise, compared to violins and violas? This is our secret. We're doing something like this. Okay, so sometimes we both like to do things up, cellists like to do things down, and that's all good. It's really effective. When you guys have can you play that up just a little more too? I didn't always get that accent in the middle. Okay? Simple. Love it. Okay, last thing, because I don't have enough time. But violins, you have accent, 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 accent plus a what? Sforzo. I don't hear enough. I wouldn't know there was a sforzo. I got that there were accents. But maybe you could do we just do that where you start. What bar is that?
Wow.
Okay, 65 beats. It's so exciting if you do all of that. I know I'm here shouting in your ear. When you guys have that thing, are you crazy? You should just totally go for it. Every cellist group I've ever played with are like, when you have that whole thing together, I think you should totally show you're both really strong. Go for it. Sorry. Okay, it was really good and so fun. You're so lucky to do it, but really try to illustrate what the composer tells you. Be like accents, responde, all that stuff. Go for it. Why not? It's so much more fun. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Let's make sure give a wonderful round of applause for Robin Sharp, who is obviously a wonderful teacher.